This podcast is part of the Soul Zone Network. Hello, hello, it's Molly
and Sarah
from thebutterflyconnection.com.
We're all connected and we're not alone. What if you could rebirth your soul, spark movement in your life, and reconnect with your authentic self?
Join us each week as we connect with Source to answer the burning questions that lie deep within us and gain clarity and wisdom to soar to our greatest potential. Welcome to the Butterfly Connection,
where the kinetics of your soul will give you wings to fly.
This is BK35, Getting Back Your Magic.
Hello, hello, it's Molly.
And Sarah.
Thank you so much for tuning in with us this week. It is so wonderful to be back and not just be back on this podcast, but Sarah and I just took a joint family vacation to the magical world of Disney World.
Yes, we did.
And it was fabulous and magical, especially seeing everything decorated for this time of year and all the lights and the amazing shows. And it was just an amazing experience. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we gained from Disney and how we can incorporate the magic of this time of year into our everyday and all year.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the first thing that I thought when we got off the plane and drove home was that I just wanted to go back there because it is a very magical place. But as I started to think about it, I was trying to figure out what exactly it was that was so magical. And I think it's the idea that you can kind of lift or catapult yourself into a place and feel as though you're floating or you're flying and you have no worries and no anxiety and you just feel joy and happiness and love kind of just envelop you. And for me, that was what was so magical about not just the place itself, but the people, the customer service, the ability to have some food that I could eat since I have food allergies. It was the entire experience, and the magic came out of feeling joyful.
Yes. And also for me, just the messages at the shows every night of if you believe in yourself, you can do and be anything. And I think sometimes as adults, we start to lose a lot of belief in ourselves as we experience certain things in life that can kind of tarnish that idea. And I really have been reflecting a lot this week about not just the magic of Disney, but the magic that happens this time of year, especially with many children. And depending on what you may celebrate or may not celebrate, there's always this sparkle in kids' eyes this time of year, whether they're seeing lights outside, decorations outside, or if your child believes in Santa or the elf on the shelf, there's all this just magic within our children, within many children. And I think a lot of times as we get older, if we did believe in things like Santa Claus and we lose that belief, it's like the magic starts to go away. I keep thinking of the Polar Express while I'm talking about this, if you've seen that movie or not. But I really believe that regardless of what your beliefs are or what you might be celebrating right now during this holiday season, that we all deserve to feel magic. And not just this time of year, but all year round. And what can you do to feel that magic or to get that spark back in your life, or continue to have the spark in your life where you can see the magic of life? Because life is magical. There are so many magical moments that we miss along the way because we're so busy thinking about everything that has to go on. And I think that's one thing with Disney. When you go to Disney, you're not worried about work or just things that you have to do. You're worried about getting to the parade on time and get into a spot where you can see the fireworks, or you're excited about meeting a princess or a special ride that you really want to get on. And so the focus is just on the experience. It's enjoying the experience. And I feel like this time of year, there are so many special experiences that can happen, whether it be time with family or just enjoying certain traditions that may happen this time of year. And sometimes I think we get so caught up in the everyday or the stress that might be involved in being with family or in getting certain extra things done because of the time of year, we miss those magical moments.
Yes, absolutely. I love what you said there, Molly, about it being an experience. I wonder if all of you out there listening could think of a time when you were a little kid that stuck with you, like an experience that you had that kind of etched into your mind. And every single time you come around to this time of year, or, you have that memory pop in, what is that? What did you feel in that experience? I know for myself, I have a bunch of experiences, but, I have one big experience that I remember is how I used to feel listening and watching Christmas movies when I was a kid. And just the joy and happiness that came out of that experience. And I think Molly's right. As we become adults, it's like almost like there's like this unwritten rule that, okay, well, now you're an adult, so that's something that kids do, and they believe in that stuff, and you believe in magic, and so, but once you figure out that it doesn't exist, then you just have to grow up. But after I experienced Disney, a spark came back in me that you don't have to be just a kid to feel that. And so it took me back to when I was a kid. And I hope that this podcast takes you back to when you were a kid, because we can experience that every single day if we make the choice to. I think a large part of this is trusting and having faith and believing that magic, that sparkle hasn't really gone anywhere. It might have gotten buried by a bunch of other things that, we as adults have to have responsibilities for, but it hasn't really gone away. So how can you pull that out? How can you draw that out of you again and put that at the surface and make that the center of what you do?
That's a great question and a great thing to think about. And as you were talking, Sarah, and you brought up about like losing the magic as an adult, and why aren't we allowed to, why does society say that you shouldn't have that anymore? But if you think about it, if you've experienced Disney, if you're someone who has gone to Disney and experienced Disney, everybody's dressed up. Like practically everybody's got Mickey ears on, or They've got some kind of Disney-related outfit or even like a costume. And it doesn't matter what your age is. And the thing I love about that park is you can be all decked out in the magic of Disney and no one's judging you because everybody is excited about having Mickey ears or like a Minnie Mouse shirt or whoever your favorite character is. Everybody is flaunting that very excitingly. However, if we all walked around with Mickey ears on or Mickey hats in public, so many people would be like, what do you think you're at? Like Disney? Do you think you're at Disney? You're not Disney right now. And I just think that's kind of sad because I don't think you have to be in a park to be able to feel like you can dress however you want and be however you want and not be judged for it. And I think the only way that this idea can just be changed within society is by starting with you and starting with me and starting with Sarah and each individual. We have to stop judging people. We have to stop judging how people look and act and feel. And the people who have that magic still within them, I've seen it where people make fun of those kind of people. We should be celebrating those people and asking, how did you get there and stay that way? And we can't really have magic in our lives if we are being judgmental towards other people in what they're doing to find magic in theirs. So I think that's something that's really important that we have to also focus on when we're discussing finding and keeping magic, because you cannot keep your own magic or create your own magic if you're getting rid of everybody else's magic around you.
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree. I always kind of feel uncomfortable myself walking around in Mickey ears and blinking lights, but I didn't feel that way in Disney. But that brings me to another thought, just think about the season. Think about this time of year and Black Friday and shopping, the deals, finding the perfect gifts, or if you celebrate, a holiday that requires you to get gifts, but even just the whole commercializedness of this season. And Molly was mentioning something about, not allowing other people to stomp out your magic. And I know for myself, it's hard to even keep the magic if I'm focused on all of the other things that I need to do this time of year and all year. I've got 4 or 5 different lists of things to do, trying to get my son to school, get his homework done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and buying gifts and shopping this store and making these plans and food plans, and the list goes on and on and on. And, I was just thinking to myself earlier today and the past week, like, what am I really celebrating? What do we really celebrate? And how can we use our celebratoriness and our celebration of whatever we celebrate this time of year to bring out the magic that we have within us? And it's the one thing that Molly mentioned was, allowing other people to have their magic and show their magic and not stomp them out. But I think we also do ourselves a disservice when we prioritize things, material things, saving a buck, buying the perfect gift, driving 5 hours to go here, whatever it may be. If we focus on things, materialistic things, there is no room for belief and magic and sparkle in that, because you are not tapping into your heart and your soul. And the real reason why we spend time with family members is because we want to be in their company because we love them and we want to see how they're doing. And we want to watch our children experience the magic and experience the sparkle. But how can we do that if we're constantly in the hustle and the bustle of what our society tells us that we should be doing, which is buying this and buying that and saving money on this and watching this commercial? And I don't know about all of you, but it gets very overwhelming. And I experience a great amount of anxiety in this time of year. So getting the magic back, I think, is stopping yourself and literally asking yourself the question, what am I celebrating?
Yes. And asking yourself, what am I celebrating? Also ask yourself, what experiences can I have that will allow me to really see the magic in them? Because like you said, how do you experience the magic? Well, really, the magic is in the experience. The magic is not in the gift. It's in the experience with the memories that you make. Like I always say, well, I don't remember what I got for Christmas at 5.
Yeah, neither do I.
I don't remember. I mean, there are a few things that I remember as a kid that I got for Christmas that were meaningful to me. I don't want to say that things cannot have meaning, because I know that certain things can have meaning, especially if you have a loved one that's passed and they bought you something that was meaningful. And so in looking at that thing that they purchased, they got for you from their heart with love, brings back experiences and memories and magic that you created with them. So I don't think the message here is to say don't buy anything, but I think sometimes in focusing so much on the gift, we're losing out on the fact that the experience with the person you're giving the gift to is what is important. And the magic of life in general comes from the experiences and the memories that we make with others and within ourselves, within our hearts. Because as we're doing things that feel good and feel right and connect with our soul, that's where you get the spark and the magic. That's where, from a Disney reference, Tinkerbell's going to come in and sprinkle her fairy dust and give you all kinds of magic, which is what we really all want. We want our hearts to feel full. We want to feel love. We don't want to feel rejected and unworthy and stressed out and anxiety ridden. Like, no one wants to feel those negative feelings. Sometimes we have to in order to find the joy and the magic in life, but really that's what we want. We want to feel loved, and we want to be happy, and we want to have experiences that lead us to find joy and magic. So it's really important to remember those things for the upcoming holidays.
Exactly. And just like we said at the beginning, too, I think the magic and the spark and the joy is in every experience. It's in every experience we have, not just the ones this time of year, although there's a very large focus on this time of year. But what if you could find your joy in the experiences with the people around you and in the things that you do every single day, all year round? Then, I guess as they say, you could have Christmas all year, or your holiday, or your celebration all year long. But there's something else that I want to really emphasize here too, is the idea of joy. Because we were asking earlier, well, how do you find the magic? And Molly said it's in the experiences that we have to focus on that. And I think one other thing to remember here is that you want experiences to be joyful for you. You want experiences for other people around you to be joyful. So how do you find your joy? How do you know what it is that makes you joyful or happy? And that is only a question that each of us can ask ourselves. And if you can answer that question, if you can answer the question of where is my joy? Where do I feel the most joyful? I think that's the start. That's the place you need to start when it comes to this time of year. And focus on that. Make that your priority. And everything else will fall into place. And the magic will come to the surface.
Yes. So with that, during this holiday season, during this time of year, and for the rest of your days, put the magic back into your life. Create those important experiences with the people who are important to you in your life. And find the joy in everything that you do.
Yes.
So thank you so much for tuning in with us this week. As always, we would love to have you in our Facebook group, The Butterfly Connection. You can go to our website, thebutterflyconnection.com, and check out our services page, as well as our amazing meditation that we have available for purchase and download, as well as other things that we have on our website. Feel free to get on our Instagram. We love posting quotes on there. It's also on our Facebook, but we love our Instagram quotes, and Pinterest as well. We have quotes on Pinterest as well.
Yes, and as always, we have our Soul Reflection Challenge, and that is basically all of the guided journals for all of our podcasts all rolled into one place, and that is free for you, and you can find the link to that on our website.
Yes. So please go over there and check that out and sign up for our newsletter, which we should have one coming up with updates for the coming year. All right. Well, thank you again for listening, and have a wonderful, blessed rest of 2018.
Yes, many blessings to you.
Thank you for listening to The Butterfly Connection with Molly Ray and Sarah Courtney.
Look for Soul Reflections Academy on our website, thebutterflyconnection.com, and sign up for our free Soul Reflection Challenge.
We would love to hear from you. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and Google Play and give us a review. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest.
And join us next week for another soul-connecting conversation.